and anglers are cool preparing the fishing hook. The fishing rod was thrown into the river. And he sat quietly waiting for the fishing hook. Hope there are fish that will soon eat bait. In his silence, suddenly passed by. From the river flow, a corpse without identity crossed right in front of him. Suddenly the anglers shouted in fear and ran away. Not long after, the river was full of police and police limiting lines. Indy, an apprentice student. He is a prospective forensic doctor. Indy walked into the corpse room. For a moment, Indo stared wistfully at the corpse of a middle-aged man who was washed away in the river. Indy jerked into another dimension. Seen an employee named Ronnie. He looked very annoyed at the boss because the submission of his debt was rejected raw. Ronnie works at the boss's refill water stall. He has worked for about 5 months. Initially, his work was good in accordance with the direction of the boss. But over time, Ronnie began to dare to borrow money from the boss continuously, without knowing when the debt he would be able to pay. Ronnie always reasoned that the debt he wanted to borrow will be used for daily needs. On the night there was a terrible event. There was a quarrel between the boss and Ronnie. The boss allegedly no longer wanted to give Ronnie because of the previous debt. There was nothing he paid. Upset not given any more anniversary, Ronnie-pun climbed furiously. Hardly Ronnie, hitting the iron bars beside him immediately the head of his boss, until the boss immediately fell down unconscious. Ronnie's action was not enough. After hitting the boss's head using iron, Ronnie immediately took money from the shop drawer. Then Ronnie also wrapped his boss's body with a cardboard box. Then put it in a sack. Then Ronnie carried his boss's body past the back door. By using the motorbike he used to deliver gallons. Ronnie put his boss's body on the motorbike pillion. He also emphasized his motorbike to a bridge. Seeing the river water flow that night was very heavy. So, a good idea for Ronnie to immediately throw the boss's body into the river. That way he hopes there is no evidence that can be found. Then Ronnie returned to the kiosk. And cleaned the remaining blood spill. Ronnie immediately changed his clothes that were hit by blood spots. and then burned it behind the stall. Suddenly, a pale hand stomping his shoulder Indy. The spirit of middle-aged man in front of him is now behind him. The soul of the man continued to follow Indy wherever Indy went. Until finally, Indy was upset and was forced to help the spirit of the Parubaya man. Indy immediately came to the shop shown by the Parubaya spirit. Of course, the store is closed and there are no signs of residents. Then a woman, one of the employees at the store as well, came to Indy. The woman said that her boss was going out of town. The boss's spirit pointed to a corner of the room. There is a CCTV camera that is deliberately made not visible to monitor store activities. Then Indy saw the surroundings, and there was really CCTV, as shown by the Parubaya male spirit. India came to the police station and handed over CCTV footage. It was clear that the murder was carried out by Ronnie. Employees themselves. The village was finally tantrum. It turned out that the refill water boss, instead of going out of town, but has died and his body was found in the river. A few days later, Ronnie was immediately arrested by the police without being able to fight. While the refill water stalls, now it's really sealed. Upon Ronnie's capture, the boss's spirit can now go calmly. While Indy stood tall facing the river while sighing and enjoying the cool air.